and Yuki always has to be careful, but still going to have some safety with the Azir.
But I do want to point out that we have seen a Vladimir go into an Ornn before here in the LPL. We saw it from 369. He was unchecked, and the Vladimir just won the game. So I'm curious what happens topside too.
I think we're going to see farming.
Ah, that's fun to talk about then. Game 2, I enjoyed the heck out of Game 1. I don't know about you guys out there, but it ended in 24 minutes. I didn't get my late game team fight. I'm going to see what happens here going into game number 2, because BLG, if they win this series, they keep their dream alive of the impossible playoff run. But LGD losing here, that could be the nail that seals their coffin in the future for 2020 spring.
Like, both of these teams really need some kind of Cinderella story run to make playoffs.
Yep.
So either one losing is a detriment, but it also feels like, especially on the side of BLG, actually, it's completely true that even if they win the rest of their games, they only play this one, and then they have one more against Victory 5, I'm pretty sure.
That is right, on Wednesday.
Their fate is still not in their hands. If OMG picks up wins, well, they're just done. BLG's done. They can't get more than 7.
If WE as well, right, make the run up, that WE hurt them
if anyone hits 8 series, even if BLG win this series and the next, they're just done.
On that note, we have OMG tomorrow. If they pick up their win there, like teams like, not Vici and Suning, because Suning climbed out of that hole today. Teams like DMO, BLG here, if they can't pick up the series win. LGD as well. There is a chance that they will be out permanently. But moving into this second game, nothing really exciting on the runes, though, there is there?
Nope, nothing exciting. Both top laners going for the more... Yeah, but still, as Ornn, you do take that into lanes that you really have no chance of winning, so you wouldn't proc something like a Grasp or anything along those lines onto a Vlad, so just taking the unsealed spellbook to have more utility going into the game. Sure. And Vlad, of course, taking the phase rush to do better in those team fights.
It's always nice to do better, isn't it? I just want to reiterate my point. If BLG loses and Suning and Dominus, they will be out if OMG win tomorrow. There we go. We got it out. But Lyric, in the pick and ban, you're talking to me about the simple front to back from the side of LGD, and you're talking about how, from LGD, but you're talking about BLG before and how the Zac interacts, and your interest towards the mid lane in the Aurelia versus Azir matchup.
Yeah, it feels like early on in the game, BLG actually have more options to be proactive with, especially with that mid lane, but going over to LGD, you can see that Yuki took the exhaust, so playing for more safety, knowing that BLG really want to put a heavy focus on the mid lane.
Does mean that teleport advantage over to Fofo is spotted out by a ward here from Meteor, who's towards his Krug, bottom side of the jungle. Now moving up, but Peanut going towards River, dropping a ward ready for the Scuttle Crab contest. Or rather, just to get vision to see if Meteor does it.
Also really interesting to see that Meteor is full clearing towards the top side, because we don't expect any ganks in this lane. Vlad just wants to farm. Lies as well, just going to do his job to kind of play safely, get the CS that he can. But we are going to end up with Meteor getting to bot lane around, you know, 4 minutes 30 seconds when his Krugs do come back up. Okay. So maybe we could see some bot lane action around that time.
The ability to dive with Bloblets is always a thing of beauty. Also, the ability to do 2 camps at once, I forgot. We haven't seen Zac in a while, but that was always a plus.
That is something we could see, actually, you talking about a dive, if they can create a window where, of course, Peanut's also going to recall and want to full clear back down towards bot side. Azir doesn't have TP, so if Fofo can get priority in the mid lane, which he did recall first, so he should be able to push it out once again, BLG can look to set up a dive bot.
But right now we're looking towards the top side because Meteor has spotted out a ward and he must clear it. That means towards the top side, Lies has to pay that bit of respect, while Meteor goes back towards the Scuttle Crab, and they'll know he's here due to that earlier ward while Peanut trades towards the bottom side himself.
And we do see pings coming out from Yuki. Looks like he does want Peanuts.
Dear Lord, it's Conqueror. Ready to go. Peanut here says, don't worry, I'll help you, Birdman.
Which Yuki was spam pinging for that help. So good to see that Peanut comes. We know that Yuki wants to get a reset off for the fact that Fofo already did. And Meteor took so much time now, not sure if BLG can create that same window bot that we were talking about earlier. But Dragon will be coming up soon.
Yeah.
So that is always an option as well.
But LGD doing a really good job of controlling vision in this early game. Look towards Raptors. Yet again, they are going to spot out Meteor. So far, LGD have been tracking this BLG jungler quite well.
I mean, let's also point out that he did show top on the ward. Like, he chose to show. He wanted to clear that ward.
That's true.
Then got Scuttle Crab, so BLG not trying to hide that information by any means.
Great tracking, though, you know? Great tracking of the jungler who wants to be found.
Fofo once again going for recall to pick up some early Merc treads.
I was going to say that, you know, that is a really bit of early priority here for Fofo towards the boots.
Yep, just going to get that tenacity, always helpful, and we do see some good vision control coming out from LGD, which is great when we just talked about how BLG have the options to set up plays around the bottom lane.
Gonna revolve around this Dragon Ocean to start things off here.
He's pulling the wave.
Oh.
Makes you wonder if they're going to try and set up a gank with Meteor on mid. Which Meteor is not a jungle we know for ganking mid.
No, definitely not. At this point, that ward again towards Raptors. Also, he's going to be lensing this one right here, but I don't know if he cares because Yuki here just going to fly away. Fofo does hit 6 too as well, so respect paid by Yuki as he also hits 6 now with the Emperor's Divide. But you can see where Peanut is nowhere really near to help Yuki if an engage starts in the 2v2. Meteor going to back away as well.
Yep, Meteor going to head up towards his topside camps, which are coming up, so it gives Peanut a chance to go for a gank through bot lane. And Sejuani actually really good at these lane ganks, just being able to jump in, throw that ultimate, and then Kilo and Kramer being able to follow up that damage.
With the Winter's Bite, with the Permafrost, it's going to be an instant kill if anyone gets locked up. But Jinjiao also trying to get the shove here as well. You can see Fofo trying to walk down. That would even the odds.
Well, and just even if he doesn't commit to heading bot side, right? It just puts so much pressure on LGD's bot lane having to think, well, Fofo can come.
Plus, they own vision in the river as well. So BLG know if anything else is coming down that way. So everyone just backs off. Peanut sitting here in a brush yet again. And Shinmo playing ultra respectively as well.
Yep, going to try to hold this wave for Jinjiao, but you would expect Kramer's going to be able to bully him out, yep, and does have to walk to his tower for safety.
But another slow start to the game. Now remember, the pros of game 1 were that we got around these objectives and we started seeing those big 5-on-5s earlier than we expected. Here we're still waiting for that Ocean Dragon contest. Also the Rift Herald spawning in 45 seconds.
Yeah, another thing we kind of would like to see is, again, BLG keep trying to get down towards this bottom lane. We do have BLG with the ability to build up a wave right now, considering that the wave is on their side of the lane. So it would be nice to see Meteor once again hover mid, let Fofo get priority, and then head down there. We've already talked about how Yuki doesn't have TP, but Killua coming off of his reset, going to hover for Yuki to get that reset himself.
Seems to be a lot about the wave manipulation and how we play out the waves here in the early game, especially towards this mid lane. Meteor going for the scuttle will give the advantage here. Killua could be sandwiched between Fofo, trying to find out more. A ward drop to spot Yuki coming back into lane. We got the 5-head plays coming through here in the early game.
Yeah, just going to control Scuttle. And they're actually going to try and force this fight, which Lies is coming off a base, so he does have some items. Kingen as well has already backed. Both top laners who have TP, but
they think it's being started. They have no control around the area.
And now we're going to get into an awkward place where all of BLG's topside jungle is coming back up. So we do expect to see Meteor head up there pretty soon.
Peanut. Blue buff's coming up to give over to Yuki. Gromp there as well. Kingen actually going to drop a control ward behind the Rift Herald here. 8 minutes in, no blood.
I love it. Not going to let anyone take those honey fruit either.
No way. Just pop them and don't even need them.
I mean, he doesn't need them, and he's just going to sustain up through his lane, but he doesn't want anyone who he chunks out to
Hang on,
those.
First sign of action here. Flash away by Kramer. Stretching Strike doesn't connect either. Traded on the way out, but healed back on up. A good attempt and a flash burnt from an 80 carry. That's great.
Yeah, we have seen Meteor attempt before. This might be his first time getting into the lane, but of course he did make his way towards mid earlier. But of course, there was a ward there, so we had to clear that out.
I did say action, though.
True. You did say action. Hey, Zach has a lot of cool gank paths, though. So I'm happy to see Meteor, even if it's only at 9 minutes, finally try and make something
I mean, the Elastic Slingshot plus level 2 just gets so much range on it as well. So get ready for that distance play as he heads towards his top side and lies on a bit of a journey here with the Unsealed Ornn. Get that turret. Oh, but now you're in a pickle.
But Fofo is closer to this fight. Of course, Kingen's already here, so Lies going to have to flash. Yeah.
Does he flash into Kingen, though? No, not yet. Blast Cone's there. Fofo leave me. Oh, no.
He can go on this.
Well, Kingen here. The good ulti from Peanut to help his top laner, you'll say. Kingen just going to trade him out of the lane, though.
And now they could probably just start up this Rift Herald.
That's rough. Off a simple blast cone. I didn't know that was so hard to say. And Fofo going to help him meanwhile. So net advantage for BLG here in this early game.
And it's great, too, because Jinzhao and Shinmo can hover towards the mid lane, come pick up the CS, but they don't have to fully commit to going topside. So LGD not going to be able to get anything on the bottom side of the map.
All you do is clear out the wave, thin it out, and back away for Kramer.
No, I just want to point out that
What?
I'm the only caster here that predicted BLG to win, so...
Only one here. You're not the only caster of the team, though, were you?
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Were you? Answer the question.
Well, let's take a look back at this game. We do see Meteor now clearing his topside jungle, which I like because he's going to end up full clearing towards the bottom half of the map, which is where we've wanted to see this action continue. But LGD going to be able to pick up this Ocean Drake for free. First Drake doesn't really matter overall.
That's okay. You're going to get a bit of sustain from this one. That's cool. Thumbs up. See, Yuki likes it. That's all that matters.
Yes, he does, but game going to slow down once again.
Ah, yes. LCK. Not on today, but you get your dose of it anyway. To be fair, today has been a lot of LCK games.
You know what we had today, though, for anyone who didn't know out there. LDL started today, the secondary league. And
that wasn't like LCK, from what I saw anyway. We saw a kill in under 10 minutes.
We did. We saw his first game was a Joy Dream against Victorious Gaming. We were watching part of that. And
watching Teen, remember, from JDG last year.
Yep, Teen playing support in the academy, on the academy team.
The big Morgana one trick we remember from last year who played with Imp. That'd be great. Imagine being an LDL, like a challenger support, who gets to play with Imp.
Right.
What a blessing.
But I want to keep seeing Meteor try to get action in the mid lane.
Like this? Never mind.
It is an Azir. And he does also have exhaust. We need to keep pointing that out.
What a shame.
It's not fun.
I'd flash for that, just to get the action going. Also got to remember, if anyone hasn't seen Zach in a while, remember his ult did change back. Just as an important note that we do have the splatter ultimate instead of the carry and take you to heaven ulti.
Talking about Zach, though, and the fact that Meteor is the one with the Rift Herald, I really hope to see him use it towards the mid lane, not only to get that plating gold onto Fofo, but when you're facing a comp that has so much wave clear in the Azir, it's going to be really hard to break down that mid turret if you don't do it with a Rift Herald.
It is halfway through to expiring as well, so Meteor does have to think about his options soon.
We could see them try to push out the bot lane as a duo, make their way up mid, hover for Meteor, I'm sorry.
Did you say Meteors?
No, I said Meteor. Remember?
Oh, Metoa, yeah.
When he misspelled his name.
Yeah, if anyone missed that, was it last year or just the first?
It was last year spring. Last year spring was his first,
yeah. Where the O and the E were reversed. He misspelled it and they wouldn't let him change it, unfortunately.
Yeah, he was Metoa.
Metoa, yeah.
Oh, God, that's great.
I got to note as well that in this game, we have big moments here for all the lanes of BLG. They all have CS advantages, and Yuki pushing this up might be a small moment. Never mind. Again, a 0, I guess, but there is a 10, almost 20 CS lead through the mid lane. A CS lead up in the top side, and a 20 CS lead in that bottom side. So BLG's lanes are accelerating in their own small way.
And they've never felt comfortable enough to, we see them going mid, getting priority for Fofo, but to help them roam towards the bot lane, and them putting this down, okay, they're going to get some plate gold for Jinzhao, but we would have really liked to see them get some plates down in the mid lane.
Well, you take the second option here as Meteor is going to find Peanut with a level advantage over him, now in the near vicinity, over the wall with the blast coners. Bit of turret gold over to the side of Shinmo and Jinzhao, and that's all they're going to get here from this trade. And we're back to square one. 14 minutes in.
But on the opposite side of the map, two people we haven't talked about, Kingen and Lies, are very happy because they're just farming. And who doesn't love just farming?
Especially as a Vladimir, man. The Proto Belt already picked up. That's sick. I think he's got the first item of the game, unlike junglers. No, he doesn't. There's also an Abyssal Mask there for Lies. Also, Yuki has Nash's Tooth, to correct myself. And, yep, that does look like an LCK early game. 640 gold over to BLG. 159. That's the nice spread between the bottom lane.
I saw someone in chat earlier point out that since there's no LCK today and we have all the LCK viewers in chat, it means all the gameplay in the LPL will be like the LCK.
Oh, dude. So the chatters are ruining it. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that's what someone in chat said.
That's what you implied.
I'm just the messenger.
Well, I'll be honest, what you've just implied is that the LCK viewers in the chat are ruining this. And that's not what I want. I had a great first game. I loved the first game, and I'm ready to love the second one. And to be fair, the best thing about LCK is that you do get to that point after 20 minutes when people have decided enough is enough, they need to fight, where you do get those awesome big 5-on-5s. Right?
I love APK about LCK. That's one thing I love about LCK.
I love Ixu, man.
I was going to say, because Ixu picks some crazy stuff.
Dude, I want to become an Alawi main simply because I've watched enough of Ixu.
You know what's funny? We were talking about this off cast of how he changed his name to Ursu when he was playing in the LMS, actually, on Hong Kong Attitude, for anyone who didn't know.
Yeah. And then he said he changed it back when he came back, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah. There's a bit of backstory behind that, but I actually don't think we'll get time.
I don't know why we're giving backstory to Ixu.
In the LPL. If we want to talk backstory as well, just remember that on the side of BLG, like Meteor once again, who picked up MVP in Game 1 and who is now going to look to start this Dragon off. This is his second year.
Keep your eye on that ward in the brush behind blue, because we've seen BLG ping that out, and it could be a place for Kingen to get a flank on this Vladimir. We do see him waiting for it in the top lane. But
right now, they don't need to do it.
LGD don't contest.
Oh, no.
Well, it happens. We saw Meteor set that play up by looking for a gank mid, gave Fofo priority, then hovered towards the bottom lane, so bot lane are now free to move as well. Nothing happened, though.
We should be doing some LPL history, shouldn't we?
Look at this, though. We have
happened?
Mountain. We're going to have Mountain Soul, and we have a ton of tanks on the Rift.
We do. It's League of Tanks here.
Yep.
So for both teams, going to be pretty damn good. Especially
5 to be exact.
Well, I mean, for both teams, you know, you're going to get at least 3 mountains, right? So you're going to get 6, 12, 18%, and the Mountain Soul on top.
Yep, so who can ever snowball this Drake lead, I feel like is going to be heavily favored in these late-game team fights, which we talked about. It is, you have two comps that want to execute quite differently coming together. LGD wanting to play front-to-back, needing to keep Yuki and Kramer safe. They have the tools to do so in the peel coming out from Peanut and Killua, also the Emperor's Divide. BLG really heavily relying on King and getting into the backline. Meteor also able to provide a ton of disruption.
Which you'll think will be fine here for King, and the level 12 Vladimir here, who's gone uncontested with a 20 CS lead, who just picked up the blue buff.
But not going to be able to come in on the flank. LGD are just right in front of him.
Yuki, can he do the same thing that happened last time for Fofo? As Meteor jumps on in, the stretching strike there. Rift Herald still healthy as the engage comes through. Call of the Forge God, Cosmic Radiance taken as BLG pick up the objective, but now blocked away. There it is, keeping him in arm's distance as Yuki starts hitting that backline. BLG are going to get it first blooded, and LGD is so healthy. Jinjiao kiting back as Kramer looking for a flanking position, but it'll be the one killed for the objective traded away.
BLG do pick up the objective like you just pointed out, but if they'd wanted to win that fight, we really would have needed to see Kin kind of loop around the Dragon Pit, maybe wait in one of these brushes and get onto the backline when Kin...
I gotta remember, you keep telling me it's Azir into the Cell division and right in front of turret. I mean, BLG walking into them, that's a no bueno here as Killua takes a turret shot. Shinmo has to flash away. No! Oh, it hits everyone because Jinjiao flashed back into them. Kingen coming through with the transfusion, but flashed away by Kramer. BLG run into that one willingly.
I really like how you just used the term running into it, because they had no reason to look for that play actually on the side of Meteor, but they still do. They pick up a kill in return. Gonna miss out on some CS and XP in the mid and top side, so this is actually pretty big.
Just looking at Kingen here on the OP, I think that graphic is a minute too late after that play. But
I feel like the graphic is kind of wrong in general, because even going back to the Rift Herald fight, he didn't do anything.
Yeah. So tell me what happened here. Watch, who was it? Flash was it?
Meteor jumps in. They have no reason to jump in. They're trying to dissuade them from taking
call.
the tower.
And he goes in.
Yeah. Shinmo jumps in, and then Jinjiao. Oh, God, that hurt. Kingen thinking he could do it, but Sejuani, of course, is here. Gets locked up by the Gravitum, and, you know, then we see that nice graphic of Kingen.
Kramer's a big Aphelios yet again. Do you remember the start of the split, week 1, where we first saw LGD versus LNG, and Kramer 1v3'd as an Aphelios? I'm ready for that again. with the Infinity Edge Zill, big man here running through the mid lane with the rest of LGD. And Yuki in a great position now as well as they pick up the turret and a 1k gold lead.
You know what I'm ready for is for BLG to actually play through their side lanes because Fofo and Kingen both win those. They will have push. They will have kill threat in the 1v1. They will be able to start hovering and trying to make their way towards the mid lane.
And we do that in the LPL on some teams. BLG one of them?
No, actually not. That's why we typically see them go for things like the Corki and the Azir lately. They're not a team that does that.
Now Fofo going to be tested. By the way, he's about 30 CS up on Fofo as well. Let's bring that down. There we go. Almost 30 CS. Picked up Trinity Force to start off here. We're not getting the Blade of the Ruined King Aurelia mid lane.
No. Oh, you're right. We're not. But so they're going to want to play more of this skirmishing style. And we talked about how they want to play side lanes. It's really going to be about Meteor hovering with Fofo. You can just continue to leave Kingen on his own island. He's a Vladimir. He's a lot of safety. He has the Proto Belt and the Zanyas. So
yeah,
going to be really hard for LGD to lock him down.
Well, criticizing BLG before.
Ooh,
Yuki. Ooh. Ooh.
And this is what we talked about with Yuki before of having high highs and low lows.
That was definitely not a high. We'll keep that one there. Yuki without a flash after that play. Will be walking back to the mid lane after it as well. But still slide.
Going to keep Fofo in the top lane because he has that TP.
The peanut all onto Jin Zhao. There's going to be a cleanse away immediately. Now back to your TP talk.
Well, TP talk doesn't matter because Fofo's actually just going to decide to recall and probably walk straight towards this dragon. Kingen does pick up turret in the bottom lane. And again, the name of the game is Kingen getting on the backline, but he doesn't have an ultimate.
Lies using the TP here. Means they're going to fight without him for now. Cosmic Radiant's going to come through. Fofo gets knocked up. He'll go on vulnerable with Meteor with a 3-man ulti at the ready. Everybody bounces in a tight corridor though. LGD ascending BLG back. Jin Zhao has to flash over the wall. Rather lies, excuse me. As Yuki now has to cut this one out, but he can't. The wombo from BLG seems to be too strong.
And that actually looked really scary for BLG at first because suddenly we have Shinmo, Jin Zhao, and Fofo all on one side, and LG are like, hey, we're 5, they're 3, let's just all run in. Great Cosmic Radiance coming out from Shinmo. Kramer not able to use his ult to burst down, and are we getting a Baron?
A 22-minute Baron. I mean, BLG say, let's make this one quick yet again. Got a 2k gold lead, and they've got 2 versus 5
Peanut
here.
does have Smite, though.
But he's going the other way.
Oh, they...
Giving up.
Well, I guess you are against Kalista. Why even risk it when you can just go take the dragon? But
that's
still,
not the Peanut way.
That's a huge win for BLG. I was trying to think of, I don't know why I was trying to think of a word other than win. It was a win.
It was a win, indeed. Great analysis there. It was a big win. LGD, only thing they'll take off is a Mountain Dragon for their tanks. But I'm ready for this one again because that was looking so good for LGD.
Like we said, it's kind of a 5-on-3, but Lies put himself in a really bad position where he can't pull up. Yuki as well. Great Cosmic Radiance coming out. Meteor jumping in. Kind of the key member there for the side of BLG. And then we get Jin Zhao as well, just continuing to jump forward. Sorry, I'm trying to keep my eyes on where Kingen is, but he is off to the side. Yeah, right?
Everything in a tight corridor, but what I noticed was that Kingen got access there as well. I mean, the combination of Kingen, you mentioned Jin Zhao there too. Big elements of BLG to play through, and just a revitalized BLG. Their fights are looking great here in Game 2 as well.
Yeah, and it was looking a bit scary early on when we saw them forcing ways that their comp really shouldn't. Here's them playing around Fofo once again.
Meteor came out of nowhere. The ultimate use, the Emperor's Divide, does not divide Flubber, unfortunately, here. And Yuki will go down. Another kill, rather the first, for Fofo here in this game.
And what is this? We talked about BLG, not a team that plays with mid-jungle. They've just been so bad at that all split. Meteor much preferring to go up towards the top side, but now especially in the middle stage of the game, doing so well. We talked about how they really want to play off this side lane control.
LGD getting schooled a bit here with getting caught out. Yuki, I bet he wish he had that flash from before too, to add insult to injury. Is Jin Zhao with the Baron buff here, early in the game, looking to push mid.
No one able to stop Fofo up in the top lane. BLG in the mid having a lot of safety with Shinmo there on the Taric. And Meteor always providing threat from over that wall, so no one from LGD can really walk up to try to punish this BLG 3-man unit in the mid lane.
This is dire straits. LGD need every single win.
And great side lane control in the bot lane from BLG, sorry, but they do need every single win.
But further to your point, side lane control, this looks very difficult. Meteor set up in position again. Are you ready, boys? Here comes Margin Boo. He flashes in right into the back line immediately, but Kingen finds his way in through as well. A 5-man Hema Plague as Fofo ready to go in. Cosmic Radiance comes down, but LGD do find one, and they've found Kingen without the ulti. Fofo locked on down, and LGD say let's go on top of Fofo. They're going to get the lockdown here with a flawless duet, but Fofo through the mid lane has to flash away over to the Baron wall. LGD with a team fight win, with a dream still alive.
And this was a team fight initiated by BLG, extremely aggressive through the mid lane. We talked about how they really need to be able to get on the back line. They weren't able to do that.
Is Fofo dead? I think Fofo could be dead. Permafrost, Arctic Assault, Gromp. Baby, let's go.
Gromp?
Gromp. LGD's Gromp.
Well, okay, so getting back to the action on our screen. Actually, the lack of action.
That was the action.
I don't know. Was it
action? Are you
action?
okay? Are you tilted because you saw Gromp?
He just shouldn't have recalled there. There was no action, but
I agree.
still, Meteor going in aggressively. Kingen coming off on the side, using the Proto Belt, trying to get the ult onto the back line. Does get it down, but Killua doing a great job of just peeling for the carries. Yuki and Kramer playing far back. BLG not able to take down that front line with the champions they have, and they buy themselves some more time.
You set this up before. I was expecting maybe the 40-minute fight with the front to back, right? But yeah, getting through that front line is starting to get difficult here for BLG, and you can see how successful Kramer, Yuki are if they can get the damage out, especially Kramer this game with the Molten Edge.
They also just really limited themselves, and by that I mean BLG, by trying to take the fight in that specific area of the lane where LGD are right next to their tower, so of course Yuki and Kramer could just walk back while Killua, Peanut, and Lies just stand in front soaking all the damage. You don't really have an angle where Kingen or Fofo can come in from behind and get on top of Kramer, who, like you just talked about, is getting pretty big at this point.
Expecting that Zeal to be upgraded soon as well. Double Zeal on top of the IE. Ping's going down to the bottom side here, though, Lyric. Mountain in a minute. And you said it before, every mountain is sacred.
Every mountain just getting closer, making Zach, Tariq, and the three, especially the three tanks on the side of LGD, huge.
Good to see Zach back in the game. I miss Zach meta, I'll be honest.
I love Zach, too. He adds a ton of playmaking potential, and even as a tank jungler, adds a lot of... We've talked about just gank paths in the early game if you're not facing something that could really punish you. Just a great champion to pick up.
Also, when you talk about the mid-jungle synergy, I mean, kind of enabled by the champion as well. Peanut doesn't get the Arctic Assault. He gets yanked in or out. I guess you could call it here from Meteor. But Peanut looking aggressively here with a lead in the jungle, 14 to 13. 10 seconds till that mountain. Peanut, a slightly larger smite.
And great to see that LGD actually have 3 sweepers, not allowing BLG to keep any vision in their jungle. So really no way for BLG to get behind them in these fights.
Gonna have to look here because Lies has the ultimate available. Dragon is started by BLG, but a choke due to the mountain in front. A 3-man knock-up for Lies, but the engage doesn't come through. Dragon resets. Surprise, LGD didn't want to push the trigger after that one.
She just does all the spears in the Dragon as well.
Ren going to come through. Is there still going to come through? Peanut in front of it. No, it's secured by the Renders. Here comes Call the Forge God onto 3, but the Cosmic Radiance comes through. Kingen leading the charge against LGD, while Peanut has spears in him as well. Into the backline, Meteor's there. Kramer's still alive for now, though, with the Vanguard's edge onto the front. But LGD now have to deal with this Vladimir, who's tearing them apart. Jin Zhao doing the same. Meteor with 3-man kiss as Peanut looking towards this 80 carry. He'll find him, but Kingen's still alive.
It feels to me like Meteor was the key factor in that team fight, being able to get on top of them, disrupt them with that ult, despite the fact that Fofo had already been chunked out, allowing for Kingen to get to that backline and really take down people like Kramer and Yuki, but still, fight coming out pretty even. Not pretty even, exactly even.
I mean, these are so hard to track. There's so many key ultimates.
Well, and we see here, they do so well at getting Shinmo low and then Fofo running forward, but the tank line from LGD doing so well. We see Fofo's already chunked, but here, Meteor jumping in, starting to disrupt that backline. Vladimir ult already able to come down and then just run forward. Peanut actually playing in the back, a bit afraid to walk forward and peel for his carries. And this is where it gets a bit more confusing with Chaos just breaking out everywhere. They are able to take down Jin Zhao in the end.
Yeah.
And 2 members staying alive on both sides.
So we're back to, again, square one. 29 minutes in where a fight goes pretty much even. The damage coming through from King and right to watch the Vladimir here, but Jin Zhao as well. Another great game from him. Well, if you want to talk up people on LGD, it's Kramer. It's Peanut's selection towards the end there as well with Lies.
Yep, and we did see in that last fight as well that Peanut wasn't able to really serve as the frontliner this team would like. Killua doing a pretty good job at first. They did throw down a lot of their ultimates a bit, not too early. It did feel like BLG was able to jump on them, but not in the best way they'd like, but ooh.
King in with a flanking position, level 16 Vladimir. Remember, Phase Rush, a big part to play. He kites away from the Winter's Bite. He has it active and gets the transfusion, but Killua has the door up. Nobody's at home here. LGD moving away from the mid lane.
Still, no flash on Kingen is pretty huge. If he has that, he really has the ability to just get on Kramer or Yuki whenever he likes. Going to be a lot harder for him this time around, and Kramer as well does have his flash up, but no exhausts up on the side of LGD.
Never mind, we are home in the mid lane because we're sticking around here for LGD. It's the SKT Sun Turret for Yuki. Peanut goes, my man, I'm playing with FLICKR yet again.
At this point, if you're BLG, I do feel like you just go back to answering side lanes. You can't really do anything by A-ramming mid. They don't want to just stand in front of LGD, so send Fofo to that side lane, let him push it out, get some more gold into his pockets, and you're still going to be around Baron's side with Kingen having TP, but Kingen actually doesn't need to go bot because they've already set up the slow push on the bottom side.
One that Yuki was looking at pretty seriously there. Pings are going down, but we're at a stagnant point where Fofo is towards the top side. He has the shove up there, demands attention. This will give a pretty good back timing here for BLG.
I also like how Lies started to walk up top thinking, okay, I'll go catch that wave. But actually, Lies, you're the one with TP. You need to go to the bottom lane and pick up that wave that Kingen is now pushing. They do decide to put more gold onto Kramer. Kramer is the big member of this team at this point, so it makes sense. But especially with Yuki close to that death cap, it's going to be really massive going forward.
I guess we need to look at items here in conjunction with who the key player is going to be on each side. Because, like I said, I know I'm having trouble looking at the fights here and really piecing together whose ultimate is going to make it. I think you, for the audience as well, need to know that we have 3 items on Fofo here with the GA. So the diving is definitely there. Yuki's death cap has just been completed there as well. But look towards the top side. Look at the tanks with 3 items on the side of LGD. And the bruise of Vladimir, the, I guess, assassin mage, whatever you want to call him, is 3 with a needlessly large rod as well.
Ornn's going to be able to upgrade this death cap for Yuki, so he's going to be doing a ton of damage in these team fights. And you were talking about how the team fights, whose ultimates we got to pay attention to. For BLG, it really feels like it's Meteors and Kingens. Okay. And over on the side of LGD, it's kind of everyone's, right? Their system needs to come
that doesn't help me.
But it needs to come in unison because we need to see Killua, Peanut, and Lies using their ultimates to peel and give range and space for Yuki and Kramer to deal their damage. Yuki's as well going to be really massive in trying to keep Kingen and Fofo off of him.
We saw game 1 where Fofo's ultimates were huge on the Azir, so we need to see the same impact from Yuki, just in a very different space. Now, grouping up towards the mid lane because we see that Mountain is on the horizon in 10 seconds yet again.
Like we talked about, it's all about Meteor and Kingen on the side of BLG. Meteor's been doing such a good job at disrupting pretty much even the front line on the side of LGD, giving room for Jin Zhao and Kingen to get onto the carries of LGD.
And now he's the same level as Peanut as well. Lies is coming into this choke too. Dragon is going to be started with no jungler on the side of LGD here. Call the Forge God going to be used, and Dragon is secure. Now that BLG are here, they want to go in. The Cosmic Radiance is used, but a bit preemptively, as Kingen can't find the flank on the other side. BLG now might be in trouble. Lies is going to lead the charge. Peanut looking to zone away for Kingen, but no fight here today.
BLG don't even need to look for that fight. They're the ones to secure Dragon. 2 Mountain Drakes are one closer to that soul. Preemptively was a great word for how Shinmo used the Taric ultimate.
Hang on. But because of that, LGD say it's time to hit
But
Baron?
we have both TPs coming in from soul laners on the side of BLG. We see the home guards coming in for Kingen as well.
Yuki was looking to zone him away. Still in front of this Baron buff. BLG have grouped up. They do find Shinmo with the knockup, but the Fate's Call is going to be used. Doesn't re-engage here. Jin Zhao holding on for now. Shinmo goes backwards.
Kingen has flash, though.
Will he use it with Peanut going in? Yes, he will. The Hema play gets onto Yuki, into the backline. Kingen is big, and he's disrupted the fight. It's a good Azir ulti, but Kingen isn't hit by it. Transfusion heals him up, and now to the backline. Fofo's doing the same. I think BLG say enough is enough, and with a Vladimir engaged like that, it was over from the get-go.
Yep, Kingen doing so well. We mentioned that flash being so key, getting on top of the backline, but Kramer.
I mean, can he do anything here against Kingen? That's the question. The movement speed coming through from Transfusion goes into the Tides of Blood, the Sanguine pool, and he's dead as well. BLG wiped the rest.
He was playing that pretty well, actually, but still doesn't matter. All the members of BLG are still up. They're going to be able to secure a Baron.
And BLG yet again hold the favor here in this game. 5k gold lead here for BLG in this game. And that fight, the respect goes to Kingen to start that one off for sure.
Just great job using his flash, but still, actually, we get to see it here. We're talking about how Kingen has the opportunity to get on top of the backline, just kind of posturing, not know if he's going to do it. Gets in there with the Hemo Plague. Lies missing the knockup on his E. It does slow down a bit once we get in with the members of LGD flashing up, but now keep your eyes on Fofo. He goes in, flashes in, throws down his ultimate, and gets onto the carries of LGD.
You mentioned Kramer playing this one pretty well. Has to peel his way back away, but onto Fofo, he tried something. At the end of the day, though, BLG taking the win. Now, plot thickens. We have BLG with Mountain Salt on the horizon, as well as this Baron buff in hand, and it's Kramer versus the world, apparently, here on the damage graph.
Yeah, Kramer playing that fight very well, but also Yuki. Kingen was the one that jumped on him, and then Fofo flashing over, getting right on top of him. Not really much for him to do. Felt like LGD as a whole not in the right position. They knew that Kingen was there. They had a ward. But they still gave him space to get that flash in onto, their carries.
And if it comes through again, he now has a Rabadon's death cap as well on top of that. Sitting in the side lane here, there's not too much Yuki can do. So Kingen pushes up and continues to thrive here, while the rest of BLG are looking towards Peanut. He has the Arctic Assault, but with a Dazzle, I don't know, he's pretty damn tanky. He can sit here for a while, but over the wall he finally goes with another wave coming in.
And you're at a point where no one can answer Kingen in the side lane. He can just freely keep pushing that up. And LGD now need to either try to put 5 men mid, which will be very hard when we still have the Cosmic Radiance, or try to send multiple people to kill Kingen. But he's a Vladimir. He has his pool. He has Zanya's. It's going to take a long time to take him down and going to give a lot of time for BLG to react.
Well, we're going to see what LGD can do because Lies misses the ult. Oh, crap.
I feel like that's all there is to say about that one.
Oh, man. With the way these fights have been going, they've been intense. They've been mechanically skilled, and mechanical skills, not what you'd say about that Call the Forge God. Now in the side lane here, one level down on the level 18 Vladimir. Lies has nothing to engage these fights, and with the Baron buff, they're looking for their first inhib. BLG towards the bottom side.
BLG can just keep going. No one can stop Kingen. No one having enough damage to consistently hold him down. We do have 3 tanks on the side of LGD, so Kingen just has to stand next to these cannons, buff them up, and there we go.
Okay, thank you for the inhibitor. Now let's go towards the midway. What can LGD do on their last legs? Meteor still wants to go in.
I was going to say Meteor's not going to go in on this. You have no reason to go in. Dragon comes up in 30 seconds.
It is the LPL.
But it's BLG.
That's true. And coming into today, I didn't think we'd be in this position, did you? You said probably a 2-0 for LGD. Did you not?
In my predictions, I picked BLG, but when we got to the day, it's like, okay, playstyle-wise, I feel like LGD would have done a pretty good job at getting ahead and getting to the point where they'd be much stronger in team fights. We saw them do so well against OMG in their last series.
LGD looked like a team that were getting ready for playoffs, right?
I did expect this to go to 3 games.
Oh,
like, no matter what. BLG been so good at bringing series to 3 games, no matter who it's against.
And again, BLG, as of late, have been looking better and better, right? And even though they're 5-9 right now, and nothing but the shots, they are not turning down for anything. I tried that one, I'm sorry, but this is the chance for BLG to make that miracle run. And here now with the Mountain Soul, looking likely.
You know what I want to see? I want to see the resistances on Meteor at this point. 3 Mountain Drakes. Doesn't actually pick up that many resistances when you think about it. Only having the Gargoyle, Stoneplate, Spectre Scout, and the boots, but still. I still want to see it.
Okay. Well, sir, I'm sure we'll get there shortly, because the camera always goes to Meteor at the start of these engages, so expect him to turn over. He's 0-0 and 10. Props to Meteor here on this Zac. Another great Zac that we've seen, Ning being the first earlier in the split.
He's been great this time around. Him and Kingen being the standout players this game. I feel like Shinmo's also had a lot of impacts other than that one ult, which was a bit preemptive, but it seems like that was a team call rather than just him saying, hey, I want to ult.
And hey, we might have another bit of a win rate here for the Kalista Taric. Bit of a prop.
Just look at Peanut's resistances just from 1. 350 armor. Whew.
It's not too bad. And he's got a locket on the way as well.
Death's Dance.
A Death's Dance on the way, yeah. I was just thinking of like, well, now that I got to remember that builds into Death's Dance, but you never know. Peanut with the innovation now coming into the LPL. And I know a lot of the time when you've heard us talk about LGD, it has been about Peanut, it has been about Kramer, but we haven't talked about them much this game because they're in a bit of trouble. Well, I was going to use the Bellows Breath to escape this one. And further to the point, LGD have the stars on this roster, but they're getting outclassed by the likes of Jin Zhao, the likes of Meteor. Here in this second game yet again, right?
Yep. Getting outclassed is a good way to describe it, but going forward without a Baron, BLG really have no way of breaking open the base. The fact that they have so many pretty much melee champions, right? Kalista's range is super low. Vladimir's as well. They need a team fight win to really close out this game.
It's going to be hard, though, because there's a Void Staff now and all items on Kingen. Kingen is full build.
Kingen is going to do a ton of damage to the likes of LGD, especially he's going to explode Yuki and Kramer. Like, no matter what, he does one full combo, they're dead.
Yeah. And with the Mountain Soul as well, I mean, yeah, again, harder to kill him as Jin Zhao over the wall, feeling very confident. TP going to be used here as well. Baron spawning in 5.
Also a team that has great turn potential with Kalista, with Zac, so can start this up. They have a Kalista, right, so they don't actually technically need to turn. They can just look for the Smite fight and rely on Ren to close that one out.
And just with her, it's getting done so quickly. Jin Zhao is attacking faster than the speed of light as LGD walking towards the river. Fofo getting choked out a little
bit
here.
Keep your eyes on Kingen, though.
Still towards a flanking position for the Vladimir. LGD 4 members here. Kahlua trying to zone away. Meteor on top of them yet again. The ultimate used on Kingen here as the Empress Divide into the middle. BLG now go invulnerable here with the help of the Taric Gold. Jin Zhao has to flash away. Yuki follows him but dies to the Kalista. While meanwhile Kingen is just strutting his stuff in the backside. Lies is left on an island. And Kingen, my friend, a top laner that you should fear as Peanut and Meteor hash it out with a taste of blood for the side dish.
And great job by BLG having the confidence just go straight, bait that Baron, and Meteor especially jumping in.
Then Kingen decides it's all time to end it here with the TP towards the base. Coming into today, did I think LGD would win this series? Heck yeah. But BLG showed up yet again. Took them down, keep their playoff dream alive here. The impossible run, we've called it. But now against LGD, they're looking ready to go.